Last week, the Trump administration was trying to cajole people into supporting Tesla, lying about how good of a stock it is and all of that stuff. Well, that was the carrot, and now comes the stick. They're making threats, not even really veiled threats, against anyone who criticizes Elon Musk or Tesla. Here is Pam Bondi doing just that.
There have been 3 federal charges so far, and I say so far. We are looking at all of these cases across the country. We have a dedicated task force. These are not isolated incidents, as you know, and these aren't vandals. These are Molotov cocktails. You know, that could be a weapon of mass destruction. Wow. This is domestic terrorism. And Maria, now you have this Congresswoman Crockett who is calling for attacks on Elon Musk on her birthday. Let's take him out on my birthday, she says. Yet she turns and says, oh, I'm not calling for violence. Well, she is an elected public official, and so she needs to tread very carefully.
Okay, so this is all, standard, expected fascism. Like, you bring in Pam Bondi, who's just there because she's a loyalist to Donald Trump, and she'll do whatever he wants, now because he's her boss, in the past because he donated money to her. It's utter corruption. That's what you expect out of her. And so Jasmine Crockett, Representative Jasmine Crockett, feel free, Pam Bondi, to use the title that she was given by her constituents who voted her into that position. She wasn't just chosen because she had shown loyalty to Donald Trump. She had actually earned her position. I know that's rare these days, but anyway, so what she's referring to there is something that we talked about multiple days ago. Like, we did a video on it last week. So Laura Loomer had taken a video from like a Zoom meeting thing that Jasmine Crockett had been a part of, where Jasmine Crockett is calling for nonviolent protests against Tesla. And she says it over and over. The other people on the call say it over and over. The website for the group says it over and over everywhere. Nonviolent, nonviolent, nonviolent. So Laura Loomer pulls out 14 seconds of video to make it seem as if Jasmine Crockett wants somebody to take out Elon Musk. Now, she cuts out all the references to non-violently, and that's what Laura Loomer is gonna do. Laura Loomer is an absolute insane conspiracy theorist. So that gets fact-checked, we fact-check it, everybody fact-checks it. Multiple days go by, and now the Attorney General of the United States is gonna have you believe, over the weekend on Fox News, I didn't see that fact check. Whatever Laura Loomer said, I guess is true. I guess Crockett called for violence. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. And look, so am I worried about Jasmine Crockett when they go after her or whatever? No, not particularly, not more than really anyone else who's outspoken at this point, because it's obviously baseless. It's an insane conspiracy theory to spread. What I'm worried about is what it means when you have the Attorney General playing these political games. Because again, we just came off of 4 years of Merrick Garland, who is so steadfastly afraid of being even perceived to be political that he waits years, or some would say way too long, to pursue Donald Trump for the crimes he definitely committed. And now we swing to her making these baseless conspiracist attacks against Jasmine Crockett because she doesn't like that Jasmine Crockett hasn't bowed down and surrendered to this fascist regime. And I don't think it's good for a country when your chief law enforcement officer is clearly just still a personal lawyer to Donald Trump, has no interest in America, its Constitution, the Department of Justice, the American people, just to Donald Trump. I don't think that's a good thing. Now we're gonna discuss, but first I do wanna give Crockett a chance to reply. Here is the representative.
I just want to say that I have never promoted violence whatsoever, yet I've also never made excuse for those violent actors such as the ones on January 6th. So Pam Bondi, if you have an issue with terrorism, maybe you should talk to your boss about locking back up those guys that he let out that participated in January 6th.
When Pam Bondi, though, says, tread carefully, what does that even mean?
Yeah. All it means is that she's attempting to get me to say, oh, I'm gonna be scared and I'm just not gonna say anything.
Yeah, they just, again, like free speech, First Amendment rights, all that. That's like way in the rearview mirror. Like, no, don't speak out. Don't speak out against us. Agree with whatever we say. Don't challenge us on the law. Like, we have never had as overall a chilling atmosphere politically in America than we perhaps have had over the past couple of months. But I'm glad that Jasmine Crockett isn't backing off. And there, she brought up January 6th. So I want to tie that to what Pam Bondi said, because Pam Bondi said a lot of ridiculous things, but perhaps the most ridiculous was that it can't be just a vandal because they have a Molotov cocktail. It has to be organized. The thing about Molotov cocktails, the reason they're used is because they're very easy to put together. Pretty much anyone can do it with stuff that you can get out of a convenience store. So Pam Bondi, you might want to Google that a little bit, but also the idea that they're weapons of mass destruction. A weapon of mass destruction, like your nukes, your sarin gas, your Molotov cocktail. Yeah, that's not what a weapon of mass destruction is, or is it? And if it is, then perhaps Jasmine Crockett really has a point about January 6th, because Lonnie Kaufman, he not only brought multiple firearms, again, they constantly lie that there were no guns there, he did. He didn't just bring guns, he brought weapons of mass destruction, Molotov cocktails. And he received a pardon from Donald Trump. Donald Trump, according to the Attorney General, pardoned a violent terrorist who was packing weapons of mass destruction. And I think Donald Trump owes America an apology. I think he needs to revoke that pardon. I think Lonnie Kaufman needs to be locked up, not just for the guns, which are damaging enough, JR, but for the weapons of mass destruction he was packing. All of this is nonsense. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I really wish people would say it more often, how there were actually weapons on January 6th, number one. Number two, there was this guy, a loser, fresh loser off the presidential campaign, who told people, you can't have a country unless you go and fight. You have to go down to the Capitol, told them where to go, to where they can then go fight with their zip ties, their threats, their guillotines and everything. In fact, their chants about going and hanging his own vice president at the time because he wasn't a part of this same lie to continue on down this same road. I wonder when Pam Bondi is gonna initiate these types of threats towards someone else. And by the way, they are just threats. That's what these guys got. Remember the other people, the influential people, the actually known people that they've threatened? Adam Kinzinger, Adam Schiff, Liz Cheney, all the people on the select committee on January 6th because he's upset about truth being told. Prosecutors, judges, anybody who's done anything to expose the lies and the criminality behind this president are somehow enemies, and we gotta go get them. We're gonna impeach them. We're gonna arrest them. We're gonna jail them like some fascists. I feel like John, I have to ask it every Monday. So have we crossed into the fascism yet? Because we did a long time ago. In case the people are waiting for the fascist part about this administration, when they start threatening elected officials who say what the hell they want, much more tame than the things that they've said and done. How about maybe then we can notice the fascism has arrived. If you're worried about names being called, just refer to anything that this president says about anyone else. Far left lunatic radicals. Are those enough names for you guys to understand that? Who cares what you want to call them? They're afraid and they're fighting back and saying that they're going to come after people because truths are being told about them. Liars and fascists and authoritarians don't want truth being told by anyone else. They want to form your reality for you so that they can benefit from it. It's a direct example of what this is. So, I was just wondering the other day, I was talking about how I was like, it's weird. Donald Trump comes for everybody. Jasmine Crockett is very unapologetic about the way she talks. I said, he hasn't said anything about Jasmine Crockett. I wonder if he's a little worried about her response. So instead, he unleashed Pam Bondi towards her.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes in the future.
Yeah, 100%. No, because again, remember, Donald Trump is he is constantly terrified of looking weak. It unfortunately leads him to do tons of stuff that makes him look exactly that, which we'll get to actually in the later part of the show. One of my favorite stories of the day. But yeah, like they cannot take criticism. They cannot take resistance. They can't take a debate. They can't take people they disagree with exercising their free speech. This is why they constantly call to everyone they disagree with snowflakes, okay? It is, as with everything else about them, projection. They have no emotional or intellectual durability, adaptability. Everything has to be exactly automatically the way they need it to be. Weapons.
John, really fast.
It's property damage. It's property damage. It's a few angry people.
They got to go over the top because they want to make sure that it sounds like exactly what they want people to believe. So, hey, I'm not sure if Jasmine Crockett said it, but bring it on. Let's see. Adam Kinzinger said it. I believe Adam Schiff said it. When are you gonna finally do something, you coward bastards? When are you gonna finally do something? All I see is threats from cowardly wannabe authoritarians. When are you gonna do it, softies? When are you gonna finally come after your political enemies like you keep promising? You've been promising since the campaign. When are you gonna do it, you soft bastard? When are you gonna finally do it? When are you gonna do it? Are you putting soft? Are you scared?
That is a rhetorical over the internet, poking in the chest there, and I appreciate it.